We're going to go now to Gadi Schwartz. Gadi Schwartz is in Arizona, and specifically, you should know this. He is outside the county elections department for Maricopa County, which is downtown Phoenix. Now, we have been reporting tonight on new ballots coming in from Maricopa County that are giving us a lot of new insight into the potential matchup here between President Trump and Vice President Biden. But as you can see, Gadi's in the middle of quite a crowd there. Gadi, what's going on?
Yeah, and Rachel, it's going to be kind of hard to see just because we're not turning on our lights. We don't want to be a distraction out here, and there are a lot of people that are they have their emotions running extremely high. So anytime these lights come on, you see people running towards the cameras, and then they start screaming, and they've got bullhorns. So here's what's going on. It's very important that we show you what's happening outside of the Maricopa Election Center right now. You see that behind me? That's where they're counting those 400,000 ballots that are still outstanding that could really change the course of the entire election in 2020. They've got some sheriff's officers up that are blocking the entrance of the election center. We're going to walk this way here.
Stand up and to make sure we're fighting for what's right.
And one of the things that we've seen is right now they're kneeling in prayer, but one of the things that we've seen is them chanting very loudly, count that vote, and then we've got poll workers that are coming off of shift, and the poll workers have to be escorted out by armed sheriff's deputies down those stairs and into vans and taken away from here. So this is the type of scene that we're seeing. We're going to get a little bit closer here. We don't want to get too close. A lot of people in the crowd are not wearing masks. We're keeping a respectful distance, but a loud and very boisterous crowd. You'll start hearing them start up here. And they're actually chanting, "Fox News sucks. Fox News sucks." The reason why they're chanting that is because Fox News called Arizona for Biden yesterday, and a lot of people are angry about that. We have not called Arizona. A lot of other organizations have made that decision not to call Arizona. It is much too close right now, but this is a scene outside of the Maricopa Election Center, and we're going to keep an eye on what's going on here. Rachel?
Gadi, I know it may be a little bit hard for you to hear me because you're in the middle of that crowd, so let me know if you're having trouble, but is what you have seen, or is what people are attempting there, intimidation? Or would you just describe it as essentially an expression, just a demonstration that's peaceful and that is just people expressing themselves, but isn't designed to actually affect what's happening there at the counting center?
Well, so far, this is Arizona, and so if you take a look over here, a lot of times at these types of rallies, you see a lot of guns. You see a lot of people with long guns, long rifles slung over their shoulders. This is a open carry state, so it's totally legal, and we don't see any of that. So there are no people with guns that are out on display. We have seen a couple of people with bulletproof vests, tactical vests, up at the front of that crowd, but so far it's a very boisterous crowd. They're very aggressive. They've got bullhorns, and they will let you know exactly how they feel. They think that this election is being stolen stolen from the president. But again, so far we've tried to just keep a low profile because we don't want to antagonize the situation. But we do want to show you what's going on because it's incredibly important. This again is the center of Maricopa County's election processing operation, and right now, as we speak, there are people inside counting those 400, now I think 330,000 ballots that still haven't been returned in Maricopa County, and they are going to continue through the night, and this crowd, it looks like it's going to continue out here growing. Right now it's about 200 people. We've seen it grow just a little bit, but more people seem to be expressing interest from outside of Phoenix online, and so we're going to continue to monitor it. Rachel?
Gadi, have the people who are there, you described it about 200 people, have they been trying to get in?
Yes. So earlier in the evening, it started when we saw a group of people with cameras. They had cell phones, and they said that they were journalists. I couldn't catch what organization or what streaming service they were using, but they made their way inside, and they were live streaming as soon as they went in. One person was wearing a bulletproof vest, a tactical vest, and they were saying that they were journalists. They had a First Amendment right to be there. I think two of them were not wearing masks, so pretty quickly the people inside of the polling center here, or the people inside of the processing center, asked them to wear masks, asked them for their credentials, told them that the space was limited inside, but wanted to talk to them outside. And then the situation escalated. Those live streamed cameras came out, and people were kind of yelling at the poll workers inside. The voices raised to a point where the sheriff's department came in. There's a bunch of sheriff's deputies all around, and they asked the people to leave. They went down to the state capitol. They met up with another group, and then about 20-30 minutes later, you've got about 100, 200 people that are gathered here outside of the Maricopa Election Center.
Gadi, let me also just ask you if there is a police presence there. You described some of the elections workers who are inside that building that is being sort of surrounded and screamed at by these Trump supporters. They've had to be escorted out by police officers or by law enforcement as they've come to their cars when they come to the end of their shift. Is there a visible police presence or sheriff's deputy presence in terms of protecting that site?
Yeah, if you permit me just for a second, I'm going to tell my crew, hey guys, we're going to go up, back up, because I want to show you exactly what it looks like from a higher vantage point here. Hold on, real fast. Can we come by? Thanks so much. So this is some of the sheriff's protection around the building, and so you've got sheriff's officers that are positioned all around the building. They are blocking access, and they're also escorting people out. Howdy, thank you. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like when these poll workers come out the front door, people that are working at the elections here. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, they're all with me. Thank you so much. All right, so this is what it sounds like. This is what it looks like inside. You've got people that are working on counting those votes, and then they come over here, and let me just give you this shot right here. This is what it looks like. And then I'm going to take you inside here real fast if we can, because I just want to show you what it looks like, because we've got a little bit of chaos going on outside, and then inside, this is the area where it's being processed. And I want to show you something that is just it gives me hope whenever we cover elections, especially after you see a lot of people that are upset. We've got all the cameras in here. We've got other crews. But I want to show you this right over here. Right here, these are poll workers. One is a Democrat, one is a Republican. There are independents in there, and they become friends throughout this process. They are tabulating these ballots. They know how precious their responsibility is, and they come together. And this is something that happens across the country. Republicans and Democrats making sure that everything is fair, everything is above board, and that's what we're seeing. It's a very slow process here in Maricopa County. I think a lot of people are hoping for those ballots to come a little bit faster, but it is a methodical process. And so this is the calm that's happening in this room. Meanwhile, if we stop and listen, you can hear the chants from outside. Rachel?
I was just going to ask you, ambiently from where you're standing with your own ears, you can hear that noise outside, but it's not so distracting that you can't do your work there.
Yeah, they continue to work. I think they can hear it. We can definitely hear it in here. We hear the chants. We hear people angrily shouting, and yet here they are. They are making sure that these ballots are ready to be loaded into these tabulators, and these tabulators will spit out those ballots at about 6,000 to 8,000 ballots an hour. So hopefully we'll have some results. Just a quick update. We've seen about 70 to 80,000 ballots that have been released right around 7 o'clock local time here. We understand that right about in about an hour and a half, there's going to be another batch that comes out. It's probably not going to be bigger than that 70,000 ballots that we saw earlier, but we are going to see them continue to trickle out of Maricopa County, and this is how it's happening. This is what it looks like here inside of this building.
Gadi Schwartz, incredible reporting, and thank you so much for doing that walk with your crew, and thank you to your crew as well. I know that you are in sometimes what's a really uncomfortable position out there with all those people being really aggro with you. Please stay safe, and thank you for doing this work for us tonight. It's just incredibly, incredibly invaluable.
Important to cover. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you are watching the first draft of history right here. Just great reporting by Gadi Schwartz there. Again, just to summarize what you just saw, that is Maricopa County, Arizona. That is where Phoenix is. Tonight, we have already received 70,000-ish ballots out of Maricopa County, which didn't change the lead in Arizona, but changed potentially expectations in terms of who's going to end up on top in that state between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. As Gadi said, in about an hour and a half, we're expecting another 70,000-ish ballots from Maricopa County. We see those very aggressive Trump supporters gathering outside the Maricopa County Elections Board, making a lot of noise and making it hard for poll workers to end their shifts and get to their cars. But the work proceeds, the vote proceeds, and we will have an answer on who will be the president of the United States, and we will be with you here through the end of it. Stay with us.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.